for Sydney Sweeney, the internet is forever, and the old tweets that she had liked about Tom Holland have been dug up. There have been lots of blinds about these two over the years, saying that Sydney Sweeney did not like Zendaya, she was trash-talking her. Now, part of that reasoning is people believe that Sydney Sweeney wants Zendaya's man, she wants Tom Holland.
The news that Zendaya did renegotiate her contract, and she is on track to being one of the highest paid actresses in TV right now. And this is just me speculating, but it seems like that Rolling Stones article just blindsided a lot of people, including her.
Something wild is going down behind the scenes, and it's all centered around Zendaya, Sydney Sweeney, and the tension people swear has been building up for months. Folks close to production are whispering that things have gotten so uncomfortable that Zendaya wants zero one-on-one time with Sydney, and no interviews, no joint press, no cute red carpet moments, nothing. Now, the way it's being described, Zendaya isn't doing this for drama. She's doing it because she's genuinely uncomfortable, especially when it comes to how Sydney allegedly acted around Tom Holland, who is her fiancé, and once I heard that part, everything suddenly made way more sense. See, word around the industry is that the studio behind Euphoria is seriously stressed. Both Zendaya and Sydney are basically the faces of the show. Their chemistry, their storylines, their star power, all of it plays a huge role in why the series blew up the way it did. And sure, filming for the new season is already wrapped, but now comes the tricky part. Promotion. They have to show up together, smile together, talk about the show together, but Zendaya reportedly wants no part of it. Insiders say Zendaya is keeping things strictly business and doesn't want any offset chaos mixing with her work. And honestly, who can blame her? She's reached a point in her career where she's protecting her peace, her brand, and her relationship, and she's not about to let anything messy creep into that. But then the situation got even louder when people started bringing up an old rumor, the one claiming that Sydney had been a little too friendly toward Tom Holland. Now, nobody's confirming that this is true, but the rumor never really went away. It kept floating around because people swore they saw little signs here and there. I remember seeing commentary about it, like someone pointing out how they noticed Sydney liking certain posts about Tom that felt a little suspicious, especially after Tom and Zendaya publicly got back together, even they admitted they didn't have proof, just that they saw it go down live when it happened. And that was enough to get the internet running in circles. All of this put together paints a pretty messy picture, and it's easy to see why Zendaya would want to step back and keep things clean and professional on her end. Things got even messier when people dug up an interview where someone joked about Tom Holland popping up in Euphoria, and Sydney Sweeney started giggling like she caught inside feelings or something. She joked about Spider-Man needing to show up and save them, and the whole Zoom call went silent while everyone else sat there with straight faces like, did she really bring up Tom Holland right now?
Tom Holland.
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man.
I really feel like we just need Spider-Man to come in and save the day. East Highland's up.
A crossover episode.
Yeah, crossover. Euphoria meets the MCU.
I don't know how Disney would feel about that, but yeah.
It didn't stop there because fans discovered more receipts showing Sydney liking all kinds of posts about Tom online. And honestly, if I were Zendaya, I would be side-eyeing heavy too. Even if I were any woman dating someone famous, I wouldn't be thrilled seeing my man in a room alone with someone who's doing all that online liking and winking energy. Someone on Reddit even pointed out that Sydney was liking thirsty tweets about Tom while he was on the Euphoria set visiting Zendaya during season 2. That's wild behavior if you ask me. One of the likes showed a tweet saying, "Okay, but Tom Holland is so damn fine." And apparently that wasn't the only one because people swear she liked more than just that. The person sharing the screenshot said they truly believed Sydney was giving Tom a hint that she would be interested, and honestly, the timing looked real suspicious.
Fortunately for Sydney Sweeney, the internet is forever, and the old tweets that she had liked about Tom Holland have been dug up. There have been lots of blinds about these two over the years, saying that Sydney Sweeney did not like Zendaya, she was trash-talking her. Now, part of that reasoning is people believe that Sydney Sweeney wants Zendaya's man, she wants Tom Holland. So I went digging and I found the tweets for you. This was back in 2021. Mind you, Zendaya and Tom started officially dating in 2021. He was coming to visit her regularly on set, on Euphoria set. So Sydney knew he was there to see Zendaya. She was allegedly on Twitter liking tweets about it. And when that's your coworker's man that you see him coming to see her every day on set, I think that's a little crazy. Girl is so Cassie coded in real life. She took that role seriously. She wanted to method act Cassie, I guess, and try and steal her coworker's boyfriend. Obviously didn't work, because look at the way that Tom looked. Fortunately for Sydney Sweeney, the internet is forever, and the old tweets that she had liked about Tom Holland have been dug up. There have been lots of blinds about these two over the years, saying that Sydney Sweeney did not like Zendaya, she was trash talking her. Now part of that reasoning is people believe that Sydney Sweeney wants Zendaya's man, she wants Tom Holland. So I went digging and I found the tweets for you. This was back in 2021. Mind you, Zendaya and Tom started officially dating in 2021. He was coming to visit her regularly on set, on Euphoria set. So Sydney knew he was there to see Zendaya. She was allegedly on Twitter liking tweets about it. And when that's your coworker's man that you see him coming to see her every day on set, I think that's a little crazy. Girl is so Cassie coded in real life. She took that role seriously. She wanted to method act Cassie, I guess, and try and steal her coworker's boyfriend. Obviously didn't work, because look at the way that Tom looks at Zendaya.
Then comes a fresh blind item stirring up even more heat. It said the super thin actress and the illiterate actress had a massive fallout and wouldn't be doing any joint press for their pay cable show. People think part of the tension comes back to that old American Eagle situation, something everybody was tired of hearing about. But suddenly Sydney is speaking on it again, so it's back in people's faces. And that alone has folks wondering if that's one more reason why celebs are distancing themselves from her now. Putting that blind item together with the recent interviews, insiders claim Zendaya and Sydney's whole vibe is done for.
I'm literally in jeans and a t-shirt like every day of my life.
Jeans are uncontroversial. Jeans are awesome.
Yeah, I like your jeans.
You look great in your jeans. I think I know how you're going to answer this, but I'm going to ask anyway. I mean, the president tweeted about the jeans ad.
It was surreal.
It was surreal.
Mm-hmm.
And it would be totally human. I would probably feel like thankful that somebody had my back in public, you know, and conveniently some very powerful people had my back in public. And I wondered if you felt that way.
I don't think that it's not that that feeling I didn't have that feeling, but I wasn't thinking of it like that, or like of any of it. I kind of just put my phone away. I don't really see a lot of it.
But the risk is that, you know, there's a chance that somebody will get some idea about what you think about certain issues. Like, do you worry about that?
No.
The criticism of the content, which was basically that maybe specifically in this political climate, like white people shouldn't joke about genetic superiority.
I think that when I have an issue that I want to speak about, people will hear.
Word is Zendaya doesn't even want to stand next to her anymore. And honestly, if Sydney really was out here trying to grab Tom Holland's attention, that alone would make most people cut ties fast. And let's be real, this whole feud didn't suddenly appear in 2025. There have been blind items for years suggesting the two weren't exactly besties from day one. So this might just be the breaking point that made everything finally crack in public view. These tension signs didn't come out of nowhere. People were clocking this drama years back. There was a blind item from 2022 that flat out spelled out a messy triangle between the illiterate actress Sydney Sweeney, the meme actor Timothée Chalamet, and the one-named superstar Zendaya. It basically claimed Sydney and Timothy were teaming up behind the scenes in ways that didn't sit right with Zendaya at all. Then, by April 2024, things looked even more off. The blind item said Sydney was out here telling everybody that their pay cable show was definitely returning, while Zendaya stayed quiet and said she wasn't sure. Two totally different stories, and people immediately sensed tension, because why would two main stars be giving opposite answers like that? Fast forward to September 2024, and the same blind item claimed producers bumped Sydney's paycheck up, which already had fans raising eyebrows like, okay, what's really going on here? And then it said Sydney had been taking over every conversation, talking nonstop about her character, the upcoming season, and how she wanted an even bigger storyline. That's the kind of energy that can rub coworkers the wrong way fast. Not long after that, Zendaya stepped out and made sure paparazzi caught her and Tom Holland looking solid in November 2024. People read that as a quiet but clear message, especially with all the rumors about Sydney being interested in Tom before. The blind item even said the two actresses couldn't get over their issues, and that the cast returning for another season wasn't looking promising because of it. This lines up perfectly with the time when nobody knew if Euphoria Season 3 was ever going to happen. And honestly, seeing how long it's taken, it's not hard to believe that their behind-the-scenes feud slowed everything down. Then came the moment Zendaya finally hit back, because once the show's creator, Sam Levinson, tried to blame her for the delays, she snapped back real quick.
Also pointed out that although she had 2 major movie releases this year with Dune Part 2 and Challengers, she filmed those back in 2022, meaning that all of 2023 and 2024, she was open to film the show. There was also another claim back in July that Zendaya had shot down multiple storylines for her character Rue, but here she seems to deny that. She states, "Euphoria is slated for January, I believe. I haven't read anything yet, but I'm excited to see what everyone has been working on and what the future looks like for Euphoria. I don't really have much of an answer, except for right now it's set to start shooting in January." I'm just gonna take a wild yet educated guess here and say it's not Zendaya's schedule that's holding up season 3 of Euphoria, but rather it's probably Sam Levinson who hasn't finished the scripts yet.
Zendaya basically said, "I'm not the reason the show has been held up," and she made it clear she'd actually been available for years. She even admitted she felt rusty because she hadn't been on set in almost 2 years, which tells you she wasn't the one stopping things. Meanwhile, Sam's team tried flipping the narrative and claimed the delays were because of Zendaya, not him. Reports also said the once close bond between Zendaya and Sam had cooled down a lot, and that shift supposedly made him resent her.
Got even more upset when The Idol was getting bad press and that expose from the Rolling Stone came out about how Sam had a very toxic work set, because people know that they're close collaborators and it could have affected her public image. And allegedly, when Zendaya, Sam, and HBO got together to get to the bottom of their creative differences, Sam and Zendaya still did not reconcile. But also, allegedly, a source close to Sam says that he was upset with her for focusing on her film career after the 2nd season of Euphoria ended. But insiders are saying that as of recent, their relationship has started to heal and that they actually have the beginnings of an idea for the 3rd season. And earlier this month, HBO confirmed that season 3 of Euphoria would start filming in January of 2025.
This whole situation has so many layers. It's honestly wild to watch unfold. One thing people keep bringing up is how the whole dynamic between Zendaya and Sam Levinson has flipped completely, and honestly, that might be the root of all this chaos. These two used to be locked in creatively, winning awards together, turning Euphoria into a cultural hit, building that wild, intense world that everybody couldn't stop talking about. They had that spark, that trust, that creative fire. But now it feels like that flame went ice cold and the shift is impossible to ignore. Back in seasons 1 and 2, their connection helped make the show what it was: sharp, stylish, emotional, shocking. But now with the tension between them, fans are starting to worry that season 3 can't match the same energy, because how can you recreate that magic when the partnership behind it isn't what it used to be anymore? And things got even darker when those reports came out calling the Euphoria set toxic, talking about long hours, stressful conditions, and chaos happening behind the scenes. That Rolling Stone report opened a whole other conversation because suddenly people realized it wasn't just cast drama. The foundation of the show was shaky too, and the truth was starting to spill out in ways nobody could ignore. The vibe now feels like Euphoria isn't the same environment Zendaya once defended and uplifted. And honestly, you can't blame her for being tired of carrying so much weight on her shoulders. She's grown, her career exploded, she's branching into major films, and it makes sense she wouldn't want to sit in a messy workplace situation when she has way bigger opportunities waiting for her elsewhere. And then there's Sam Levinson's side, which is layered and kind of sad if you think about it. Some insiders say Sam has resentment building up, like he thinks he created this huge star out of Zendaya, and now she's soaring while he's stuck fighting to keep the show alive. That kind of bitter energy can make any working relationship fall apart fast, especially when you mix ego with pressure and public expectation. But here's the thing, Zendaya was already a star, even before Euphoria. She had name recognition, she had talent, she had that presence people pay attention to instantly. Euphoria boosted her, sure, but she was always headed upward, and when she started landing major movie roles, everything elevated even more, which probably didn't help Sam's feelings behind the scenes at all. So now you've got a burned-out showrunner trying to keep his vision alive, a global superstar who's outgrown the chaos, and a production team trying to make a season happen while the core relationship that held the show together is hanging on by threads. This whole situation is honestly sitting on a powder keg, and it shows in every delay, every rumor, and every quiet move Zendaya makes to distance herself.
The news that Zendaya did renegotiate her contract, and she is like on track to being one of the highest paid actresses in TV right now. And this is just me speculating, but it seems like that Rolling Stones article just blindsided a lot of people, including her. What's funny is that she has to know. Again, if the allegations about Sam Levinson since Euphoria and now The Idol are true, like, she has to know that. She is getting favoritism. Like, Euphoria is basically, the good parts of Euphoria are all about Rue. And given that she is now like a producer and executive producer on Euphoria, I hope she will intervene when needed and make everyone else's lives on set much easier.
Another layer people keep talking about is how the cast themselves started picking up on the tension long before the public did. Folks who claim to have worked on set said you could feel the shift whenever Zendaya and Sydney were in the same room. Not yelling, not arguing, just this cold distance that made everyone else walk on eggshells. That kind of quiet energy can shake a whole production, especially when both actresses are central to the story. And let's not forget the industry politics behind all of this. When one actor becomes the face of a show and the other starts rising fast, studios start choosing sides without even realizing it. Some insiders said Sydney was getting pushed harder for promo opportunities, brand deals, and magazine covers, which might have created even more tension behind the scenes. It wasn't just about the personal drama. It was the way their careers were being framed next to each other. Meanwhile, the show was already struggling because the creator's vision was getting questioned more and more. Fans noticed the writing becoming inconsistent, storylines disappearing, and characters suddenly being pushed aside without explanation. People started blaming Sam Levinson for losing control, but others argued that the lack of unity between the key players made everything harder to execute. When the top people aren't aligned, the entire show feels the impact. Then rumors started spreading that certain cast members were choosing sides quietly. Some leaned towards Zendaya because they trusted her leadership from the beginning, while others felt Sydney was getting unfairly blamed for things she didn't control. Nobody confirmed anything publicly, but the whispers got louder with every delay and every mixed message from the production team. And you can't ignore the pressure from fans. Euphoria has one of the loudest fandoms online. And every time someone posted a rumor, it blew up instantly. People were dissecting body language, interview clips, red carpet photos, and even the smallest reactions during cast panels. Every little detail became proof of a fracture. And that constant speculation just made the whole situation heavier for everyone involved. Right now, the truth is simple. Euphoria Season 3 has been slowed down by more than scheduling and creative issues. It's wrapped in personal tension, shifting power dynamics, and unanswered questions that the public still hasn't gotten clarity on. And every new leak only makes the picture more complicated. With everything that's been happening behind the scenes, it really feels like Zendaya and Sydney Sweeney won't be sharing much screen time anymore. And honestly, that says a lot about how deep this tension might run. Fans are already worried that Season 3 is going to look completely different, especially if the two biggest faces of the show aren't vibing like they used to. It's wild to think about how far things have shifted. But one thing's for sure, every new update keeps the conversation going, and people can't stop watching how this whole situation unfolds. Whether it's the behind-the-scenes tension, the rumors, the interviews, or the blind items, this drama has taken on a life of its own, and it's only getting louder as the season gets closer. Thanks for hanging out with me and breaking this down. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe so you don't miss the next update, because this story is nowhere near done. I'll catch you in the next one, and don't forget to check out the video that's popping up on your screen for even more celebrity drama. See you soon.